Hey guys, welcome to welcome to it. We're live already. I just went live. I'm crazy.
That is crazy. How are you?
Good. I was gonna play this. I was gonna play this whole video because I thought we were 5 minutes early, but we're not.
I think we
Um,
can play it anyway.
you're right. Give us some time to like have some coffee, share this out. It's like 10 minutes long, but it's like a pretty good 10 minutes. So one thing I did notice. I actually want to talk about this on the show today. Like that thing M Blue said about like when you wake up in the morning, the world is tuning you, or you're tuning the world, has been coming up in my brain over and over and over again. And this morning, to a small degree, I let the world tune me. And so it just brought into stark relief for me the practices that we do, like the gratitude practice, is like a hard coded way, no matter how you wake up in the morning, right? If you do that, it's going to have an effect on what side of the spectrum you're going to be on, right? Are you going to be on the tuning the world spectrum, or are you going to be on the being tuned by it spectrum? And I think for me, watching this video is going to help me to raise my vibration up a little bit to better tune the world. So, and I'm going to drink some coffee because I've only had a tiny little bit, and that's some bullshit, Jimmy. Corey likes coffee.
It's interesting that you brought that up because the world totally tuned me today, and yeah, I got tuned by the world.
All right.
It was maybe okay, but sometimes you just gotta relax. So yeah, let's watch it. Let's see what happens.
Done. Guys, this is going to be incredible. Talking to M Blue, talking to Roar, who's making some awesome NFTs for us. We're going to be dropping some amazing NFTs for a really, really interesting reason. M Blue and I made this gratitude song that was actually inspired entirely by the Burning Man, the Burn Button event, and the gratitude in the world. That the gratitude song that we created. That's honestly one of my favorite songs that I've ever had anything to do with. We're going to be releasing a music video, like a really, really cool NFT that M Blue made as a community drop, like pretty soon. And all of the money that we raise in that drop is going to the rewards pool. And we've got a mysterious benefactor who is going to match funds that we raise for the rewards pool 1-to-1 up to $1 million. So our goal is to start with 2 million wax that's going to be sitting in the rewards pool, and we're going to give all of it away. It literally is there to make playing in the world, building in the world, having adventures in the uplift, earn players and earn Landkey NFT owners real freaking wax, right? Like it's going to be intense. And we've got a few different things that we're going to be doing with that. We're going to host events, right? So over the next couple of weeks, be paying attention to this. If you're part of especially if you're part of the community cluster, you can get in game. We're going to do all this stuff live on YouTube as well. I envision us, releasing this music video. Again, I want to buy one. Like I don't even have one yet. Like this music video NFT, I can't wait to get my hands on one. But we're going to release that hopefully within the next 72 hours, right? So you want to make sure that you're in Telegram, Discord. Make sure you're on the email list. We're gonna let our community know first, right? So we're gonna drop that, and when we figure out how much that has made, we're actually gonna host an event in the Blue Room, and our benefactor is going to drop this in the rewards account. You guys are gonna be able to watch the rewards account. It is, if I'm not mistaken, theuplift.xp. The rewards account is going to be public, right? You're going to know exactly how much wax is going to be available for enriching the game experience, enriching the land under our feet in the uplift, right? So that's going to be incredible. Like I can't wait to host events there where we'll do some fireworks, do some things, and I think there could be as much as 3 of those moving up towards the alpha sale that again I think is in 14 days. You can go to www.theuplift.world to check the timer on that. But yeah, guys, this is going to be incredible. Huge thank you to M Blue and the Uplift team who just partnered with me and like literally made this so possible to do this. Everybody in the community now is like, you guys are awesome, man. Like the just the stuff that's being built, the stuff that the content that's getting created, the energy that's already starting to happen in this Telegram thing, and all of it centers around gratitude. We're driving this into the culture that will sit at the center of this world. I'm envisioning people having, gratitude monuments in every plot, maybe, right? Like if they let me, I'll build them there, right? Like I'll visit everybody's plot one by one and build them. I don't know. It has this ability to bring tons of good into the world. Like this will actually make people happier, right? And while we're doing that, we're gonna be creating a metaverse, and we're gonna be creating this amazing new interesting economic engine that's gonna unleash ridiculous amounts of creativity it already has. Like when that scales like that, it boggles my mind thinking about that. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. Pay attention to the drops that are coming. Every single wax that we raise in these community drops that we're about to do is going into the rewards pool, and then it's going to get matched up to $1 million. We could start with 2 million wax. Wax might go to $1 before long. You imagine like $2 million worth of rewards just sitting in the uplift, waiting to be earned by freaking playing, right? By building stuff, by hanging out with your family, by just exploring out into the boonies. This is magical, guys. I'm really glad you guys are here, and I'm super excited that you're coming along for the ride.
Rising up from the ground. A gratitude rising up from the ground. A gratitude rising up from the ground. A gratitude rising up from the ground. Burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up. Burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. So light it up and burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up. So burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up. Oh, light it up. Oh, light it up. Oh, light it up. Light it up. Burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up. Burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up and burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. So light it up, burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. So light it up and burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up. So burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Yeah. burn it down, 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 burn it down. So light it up, burn it down, gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, burn it down, gratitude rising up from the ground. So light it up and burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, so burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. So light it up, burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. So light it up and burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground. Light it up, so burn it down. Gratitude rising up from the ground.
You still there? I think you're on mute.
You did. I was just saying thank you for letting me do that because now I'm like, let's rock and roll. Gave me some time to share this out, which is good.
I have a couple questions for you. On the gratitude monument, when you put the sign up, what's the sign made out of in the game?
Wood of any kind, but we use acacia usually, I think, or birch. Birch.
Does it have to be wood? Could it be like glass?
Yes, that has to be wood.
Okay. That was kind of anticlimactic then.
Yeah,
I'm gonna steal you later. I'm gonna take you and show you what I did, and I did some like pretty messed up stuff, and I learned kind of how to do stuff today, and I learned how to do stuff like over and over and over again until I got it right.
Good.
Which is why I say that the day kind of controlled me as opposed to me.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, well, I think so. The tuning thing. This is why it's such an interesting question. Because again, like I am, very overtly anti-woo, right? That's just a thing that I have going on, which is sort of ironic sometimes. But I like to think about the things in those terms because it doesn't require like none of this is magic, and I feel like the extent to which we believe that any of this is the extent to which we lose agency, and then it can sometimes, and I think very often, lose power for people. So, when we talk about tuning, like every action that we do is either intentional or not, right? So, and I think that's sort of the translation of, is the world tuning you or are you tuning the world, right? And your intention, like you're going into this thing, you're building, you're creating, you're learning, like I feel like not only are you actively, intentionally tuning yourself through these actions, but you're tuning the world as well, right? Because like we're going to be able to go down there and take a look at that.
Did you get her done?
Right?
Oh, no, not at all. Sorry, you a few weeks ago you totally got me back into that Canadian comedy, Letterkenny.
Dude, don't get me started about Letterkenny. Don't even. Don't even. Sorry, you said you had a couple questions.
No, so the reason I asked is because I decided to go and explore the Jenner EOS plot. They're not going to do it, so I said I'm kind of part of the team, so I'll look after it. I'll figure out how to do Minecraft stuff on it. And the tribe plot is below it too, and I've been talking to them as well. And I was looking at it, and I was like, "Wow, the tribe plot looks awesome! Like I have great ideas for the tribe plot, but I'm gonna let them do it." But it'd be really cool, right? But like just north of that is the Jenner EOS plot, and it's like all water except for one tiny island which you saw yesterday. And it's deep, like it's crazy deep, like it's like the bottom of the ocean deep. And so I just decided I'm gonna put up these like, you know, glass blocks like from the bottom to the top and see how far it goes. And they kind of jutted out of the top of the ocean, and now they glow a weird like translucent glow. And I'm like, I wonder if Corey can etch something on the glass. That'd be really cool. But apparently you can't.
Well, and if they do have that glow, like sometimes we can, if we do it bigger, we can kind of do some stuff. So we're making a present, and I have to actually, I think I can demo the NFT to you guys. Wax actually asked us to make a collab NFT with them to celebrate their 50,000 Twitter followers. And we went a little batshit crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like freaking Blue made like this really hilarious like freaking tune, and it's also just like really good. Then he makes this NFT with this like blue face guy on it. That's really awesome. And then we had Roar come in, and we were working on. I built a big, a really huge wax sign in World. Surprising, literally no one. Oh hey, Roar is actually in World right now. That's awesome. I'm in here right now, so I wanted to. We got to go do the gratitudes. We don't have to. We get to. And I wanted to. I want to show you guys this, but I actually I'm going to fly around and render it so that it all shows up properly. Because we went crazy. I went a little nuts in World, and Gary from the Boyd team came in and helped me out. He's actually in here working on stuff right now. By the way, welcome everybody for showing up. I am going to be giving away one of the rare NFTs from our current drop, and it's $80 if you want to buy it, and I'm going to give it away because you guys are awesome. Anyway, I'm almost done, and then I'm going to show this to you guys.
$75 last night.
What's that?
It was $75 last night.
It might be that I might have rounded it up. Wax does what Wax does. It's 1,000 wax anyway. So what is that right now? Numbers?
Yeah. I don't know.
Hey, welcome to all the new people. Welcome to everybody who's joining the Uplift.world Telegram channel too, because that's going completely and totally freaking bananas. Bananas, dude.
We will do some updates later, I think. But maybe we can do updates while we tour around the world a little bit.
Heck yeah. Yeah, because we do have that. Check this out. It's so big. That's what she said. I couldn't resist. So I'm going to time set today here. We're making this little gate. It's underneath the big, huge sign. Setting sun. That's always okay.
What's the gate for?
What is the gate for, Jimmy? What is the gate for? So there's going to be rail. We're still building this. Yeah, Upworld hype. It's what we do. I mean, I'm freaking stoked about it, and I like being excited. So what are you going to do? So there's going to be rail, and you're going to be like, oh, we're going down the rail now. And it's going like this. I really wanted it to come through this valley. And again, if you're not singing Highway to the Danger Zone in your head yet, fucking you should be, because I am every time. Anyway, this is all gonna be rail. And this is Gary, who's like literally, he's like freaking world famous now in our in our world.
It's funny because I was in the channel today because I wanted to put something
like that.
Love what I did. I wanted to put something on the world. So I asked him how to do it, and he's like, "Actually, I didn't do that one. Somebody else did it." And we're like, "Huh? What? Somebody else is better than you?"
There's a complex mega build that Gary didn't build. There's like dozens now, which is incredible. Okay, so I got to get rid of that thing there. By the way, thank you guys for throwing your wax counts in there, and thank you for sharing this. We got 24 people here. If we hit 30, I'll give it away. If we had 60 people in here, I'll give away 2. So they hit 50,000 followers on Twitter. Big deal, right? The more people that follow them on Twitter, the better. So I just put 50 diamond blocks up here, and then I put a little sign. Now, where this gets interesting is I'm in God mode, so I can clear the weather up if I want, which is fun. Blink. I'm leaving spots along this path for other milestones, right? So here's where 100,000 followers will go, and then I'll do 200,000 followers, 400,000 followers, whatever, right? And it's going to be a block per 1,000, so they're going to get bigger all the way through. That's what she said. Sorry, couldn't resist. Anyway, so back in March, it was 2 pennies. Little 2 things of gold there, Jimmy. 7 pennies.
Wow.
10 pennies. A little bit lower now, but Wax is going to hit 20 pennies before too long, and then 30, and then 40, and then 50, and then you get the idea, right?
I got the idea.
I have no idea what that is. And of course, it'll get bigger every single time. And I do want to do them relatively slowly because like once it hits $1, then I'll probably go to $2, $3 for it. So by the time we get to the end here, it's massive, like stupidly massive monuments. And people that have joined us in game will, we'll be able to remember. Here, I'll take a screenshot of this freaking right now. How it started versus how it is 12 months from now is going to be a much different story. You know what I mean?
It's funny because my mate, he mailed me today, and he did a little bit of trading on Robinhood. Like he knows a couple cryptos, he knows Dogecoin and stuff like that, but he's not a crypto guy. He mailed me today, and he's just like, "Hey, do you know like a good like NFT coin? I want to." Like, well, we use Wax, and it's pretty easy. Here's the link for the wallet, the Wax Cloud wallet. So I sent him there. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm already on that page," but he's like, "I'm kind of a little bit paranoid about like signing up for something with Google." And I'm like, "Dude, like, I think it's fine. Honestly, like, it's less nefarious than Facebook, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
like, this is pretty cool. That's
right?
awesome. Is that the tree of life?
I guess it's the tree of Waxian life."
The tree of wax.
So
Nice.
I threw this. Oh, Greg stopped by. Nice. Awesome. If any of you are grateful for Wax, let me know.
Yeah, so I told him about Wax, and he went in there, and then it's interesting because he was in there, and he's like, "How do I send my Wax account like to you? Because I'm going to send him an NFT, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's just log into the wallet, and it's at the top." And he's like, "Oh, it's that easy." It really is that easy, right? Like,
right.
Yeah. So that's my gratitude for Wax. I'm grateful for making.
Yeah, that's just awesome.
That is awesome. Making NFTs easy, making blockchain easy. Really, I'm grateful for that.
Right. I think we need to do like a logo at the top or something. And it'd be really cool.
I'm gonna I kind of
like the 3D, like the octahedron with the golden one. Like if I could do a 3D version of that, that'd be righteous.
That'd be pretty cool.
Anyway, so I just wanted to show this to you guys because like I'm getting more and more fascinated. The longer I'm here, the more I'm seeing that it's becoming a historical record, right? Like it's a place where I think visiting the initial like Cathedral 1.0 where we filled it up with gratitudes was kind of a really compelling thing for me, right? So like pre-setting it up so that as projects hit milestones, you should do that, and I hope that becomes ubiquitous, right? Like I hope every project in the cluster and I hope that even people that just get land who want to do stuff with it on their own or whatever. Think in those terms, right? Like there's some people that wanted to create a monument to a friend of theirs that just passed away, and so I think that might end up happening as well. Anyway, let's go do some gratitude.
Waxland is really cool, man.
Sheesh. Oh, I can type.
I like how it like auto generates, and no one knew what they were going to get until they got it.
Until they get there, yeah.
I mean, I like Anders, and we love Anders on the show, but I'm gonna call Anders out, right?
Oh shit! Oh,
yeah, man. Not everyone found an abandoned mine on their property.
It's true. That is quite rare. Not everyone has that ton of resources. By the way, guys, I would love to get a couple gratitudes up from in the comments. like just join us in this practice. This is the whole point. It's just not rocket science. It's not hard. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be like, oh my God, I'm so grateful for whatever, anything at all. And I'll pick a couple gratitudes from the comments and we'll throw them out. Like this needs to be a community thing. It's cool when Jimmy and I do it, but it really does need to be everyone. So I want to see a gratitude from literally everyone. And a little bit of a hint, like I do pick the winners of these things randomly, but it's kind of random. I am literally going to pick whoever it is that I feel like picking. And if you've thrown a gratitude on here, just saying. Is that me bribing people to be grateful now? Did I just do that? Fuck it.
This one's me?
Me.
Okay.
All right, go to town.
I'm grateful the missus finally laughed at me playing a video game. After like hours of doing this.
Oh, yeah?
Actually, it's quite funny because I do a lot of stuff in the space. I'm kind of stuck on the computer a lot, and I don't really always feel like it's stuck. I got out today. I went for a walk, into the park. For those of you that don't know, I have just over a 1-year-old daughter. And she's super cute, but she's a little bit spoiled. Maybe all kids are with their moms. And the other day, I went to take her. I went to do something, in the living room, and she got angry at me. And she is really really weird temper. She got angry at me, and she's like, "Rah!" And then she waves, not goodbye, waves me off, right? This is a 1-year-old. She waves me off and she points to the computer, right? And I went and I sat down by the computer, and then she smiled. And then I got up again. She did the same thing. She points to the computer. This is a little bit scary. My daughter's actually figured out where I belong. That's really not good. When she doesn't want me to play with her, at the same time, when it's nap time and she doesn't want to go to sleep, she comes and climbs up on me so that, her mom can't take her to bed. But kids are funny, man. And you got to be careful because I was so addicted to Minecraft today that it's ridiculous. And I don't even play video games. Maybe this is the reason why.
Right.
But I figured that you can I figured out how you can fly like crazy underwater. That was fun.
Yeah, it is pretty fun, right? Hey, thanks. Sorry, Rayanne, because I know I've said your name twice now on audio. If I'm butchering your name, please tell me how to pronounce it properly so that I can. Thank you very much for that. Daniel, I'm grateful my kids love gaming because I don't know what I'm doing. That is half of the people in the community cluster right now. Which is super fun.
Yeah, that's really crazy. That video that you did with Luke Stokes and his kids. I wonder, has his kids built anything?
Yeah, they're crushing it. You can go visit it. It's they're the FEO protocol, and they just got creative. So.
Nice. Yeah, everything you saw yesterday I did without creative. It was okay, but creative makes things a little bit faster,
right? Terry, I will do. All right. I got to get Katsumoto's. Jimmy, did I get yours? I did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you got laughed at for playing video games, which is hilarious. All right. Learn by watching. All right, there's some Telegram. I just had to update Telegram, and it's giving me all sorts of stuff. Notifications. I always turn those off because otherwise it just turns into a ringing bell every 5 seconds. All right, so you want to get ready to do some updates, maybe some tweets in the fancy thing you do?
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
For the thing that you sent, don't we have some tweets that we collected this week?
Oh yeah. Do you want to? Yeah, we can just talk about them. Or do you want to go put it up on the screen? It's up to you.
Yeah, let's talk about them because I'll probably wander around a little bit.
Yeah.
More stuff.
So I guess the biggest news is the new resource model. Not the new resource model, but the new power up model went live. So now if you, so I was a little bit unsure on how this works, but it's, once I figured it out, it seems quite simple. So basically, EOS Authority did a really good kind of report on it, article on it, and they said, if you're staking to Rex, then you're getting rewarded from that fund that people are going to use to rent resources daily. And if you want to rent those resources, then you just go to the EOS Rex page. Sorry, to the EOS Authority page. And so basically, yeah, it's essentially putting your resources into Rex, as far as I understand it. And those resources that are in Rex will essentially earn you a dividend. And essentially, you'll have to, staking doesn't really mean anything anymore. It's not, they're not going to just give you free accounts or take away things because you're not staking. So yeah, definitely read that. It's in the post, in the weekly Medium post. That was the big news. I mean, everyone was hyped about it yesterday. Every account for 24 hours was power up is here, power up is here, power up is here. So that, I think that'll go a long way in kind of making token holders a little bit happy if the network gets used. Of course, if the network's not getting used, which we all know it is, but if it starts not getting used, then maybe the payout won't be so good. But I'm not really sure how they base the payout or what the payout is, what percentage it is. We'll have to see how that goes. Other news, there was a lot of stuff about NFTs in the news this week. A few great articles that I would really recommend reading and checking out. One by EOS Amsterdam. Non-fungible tokens, NFTs on Wax. They basically rewrote their guide. Wombat, what are NFTs and why everyone is obsessed with them? They did an NFT guide as well.
Cool.
So those are pretty cool to read. Again, the EOS Power Up model is in there. And Street Fighter, went on sale last week, I guess. I didn't actually participate. My country wasn't allowed to participate. And yes, you can get a VPN, but sometimes I'm just busy. And if my country's not allowed to participate, I just say screw it. But I actually watched Anders do his live stream. That was pretty fun. There was a great post on Voice. Sorry. There was a great post on Voice, Wax, the King of the NFTs by Thomas Wolfe. That was pretty good. Jen Poole, Spotlight series, interviewed EOS Nation and Yves LaRose and EOS Nation, and basically gave an overview for this month's Jen Poole Spotlight, which is definitely worth checking out because, Eve and EOS Nation are awesome. They do a lot of stuff, and there's some pretty good questions in there. Awakened Keys, an NFT showcase by Nathan Rempel went up on Medium, introducing the first cryptographic oracle and collectible cards. Definitely read it and then read it again and probably again, because this is, pretty crazy stuff and pretty awesome. The last couple articles, a project that I quite like that's worth checking out, it's actually running on Telos, is Seeds. And Seeds kind of has this kind of permaculture backdrop to it. And it's kind of a cool project. I don't do much other than follow it, but it's got a really interesting community. And so they basically released an article, Financing, Subsidizing, and Rewarding the Regenerative Renaissance. And kind of the backdrop of their project is to, reward people for, improving the ecosystem. It's actually not that far off base from what we do at Book Nation. Only, we reward people for, being kind or for gratitude. They reward people for, being kind and grateful to the environment around us. And as a permaculturalist, I really like what they're doing. And it's a DAO as well. It's a DAC. The last one, which kind of surprised me on here, was how DApp Network can elevate Polkadot to another dimension. We're trying to get somebody from DApp Solutions on the line. It's just a problem with the timing. So hopefully we'll have a friend of mine on here. And he basically was part of the EVM for EOS that was put forth for the Reddit challenge. You know, they're really great project. Do a lot of really cool things, DApp Solutions. So hopefully we'll have him on here and he can talk about that. But it looks like they're maybe making a foray towards Polkadot, which is essentially what Equilibrium did too. So I'm kind of interested in how that pans out. And final two articles that I posted in the thing was progress on Eagle Boomtown. So if you're in there with the prospectors people with us, you know, check it out. If you're not, we still can use more people.
Yeah, man, I got so busy. I haven't been in there for a hot minute.
Yeah, I was in there every time I could be. Now I'm in there about half the time. Still a couple times a day, but still. And Dark Country are hosting daily tournaments in 2021. And if you've been here long enough, you'll remember an episode that Corey and I actually played Dark Country. It was quite fun on the line. So yeah. As for tweets, you know, a lot of it was dominated by the power up model. Telos, if you're following Telos, they're making progress on their EVM, which is pretty cool. The uplift.
What's an EVM there, Home Slice?
Yeah, so EVM is an Ethereum virtual machine, which basically allows Ethereum to run inside of EOS or any other blockchain, really, but these were built for EOS. And so, like I said earlier, the Reddit challenge, I believe, where they were trying to figure out a way to scale Reddit because it was running on Ethereum. A bunch of projects entered that, and DApp Solutions, DApp Network, I'm not sure, but DApp Solutions for sure entered that, and they created an EVM for running Reddit, scaling Reddit, I believe. Saeed Jaffrey, who was the creator of Blocks.io, he created an EVM for Block One's challenge way back. Now Telos has basically implemented this EVM as well, which again allows for Ethereum to run inside of EOS. I'm not the most technical person. That's why we have Tech Talk on Tuesdays. But yeah, basically it allows it. It's different than porting tokens over. It stands for Ethereum Virtual Machine and allows the whole blockchain to run inside of EOS. So it'll be interesting to see what's going on, what's going to happen with Telos. They're branching out in a big way and pretty hardcore, right? I mean, Wax kind of came from Ethereum into the EOS space and then kind of went back. And, you know, Wax people are kind of like this is going to sound bad, but Wax people, they're kind of like you know, when you were in high school and there were those kids that used to like go across the street to smoke. That's like the Wax kids. Like, they don't really care what other people think. They just kind of do their own thing. They sometimes hang out with the cool kids. They sometimes hang out with the rich kids. They sometimes hang out, you know, with the druggies. That's what the Wax people do, right? Telos is a little bit more like we're gonna burn this place to the ground in a way. Like, you know, screw this. You know, we're gonna go out there. We're gonna prove that, like, you know, ESI technology can work. And if Block One's not going to do it, then we're going to freaking do it. Again, my own personal take, but that's kind of what I got, right? And that's kind of been from the beginning with their governance issues and stuff. So lots of stuff going on. You know, it'll be interesting to see when Ultra goes live as well, because that'll be like, I think that'll be the trifecta beyond Block One. You'll have Telos, which is focused on governance and reaching out and you know, cheap fast transactions. You'll have Wax, which is primarily focused on NFTs, collectibles, and you'll have Ultra, which is basically focused on gaming. There's other chains out there that will do stuff for finance and things like that, but I think those are going to be the big three going forward, right? I mean, even EOS, I don't know, can you afford to use, you definitely can't afford to use Ethereum if you're in Africa right now. I mean, not everyone in Africa, but you know what I mean, right? Like Telos is big in Africa. It's huge in Africa. There's a lot of adoption, and always has been a lot of adoption in Africa with Telos. So it'll be, pretty interesting to see what happens with this EVM, because it kind of unlocks DeFi and things like that. Again, don't listen to me.
No, I think so. This is interesting, right? So, because I was wondering, okay, cool, you made this fancy thing. Is anyone actually going to use it, right? And it's, to me, as a layman, as somebody who doesn't, I'm not like super technically proficient, or technically proficient at all, but I want to understand what this Ethereum virtual machine can do, right? And it seems like people that are building things on Ethereum, they're using this thing called Solidity. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong. This is kind of the programming language or environment that they're using to do this. And it allows them to keep building, along with that, but you can build on this, basically build on Telos, right? So the things that you would ordinarily be connecting to the blockchain for, instead of costing $10 to $80, it's going to cost you basically nothing, right? Like pennies or micro pennies on the transaction. But you don't have to change anything you're doing. You can just change the blockchain. And it could still resolve because of the bridges to an Ethereum based token or whatever it is. It basically, they keep talking about Ethereum 2.0, and Telos fucking just built it. That's, to me, what I'm hearing, right? Like we need to have scaling solutions so that we can take the bulk of the traffic off of Ethereum mainnet, where it's expensive and really slow and kind of dumb, right? And that's exactly what Telos does. And honestly, Telos is one of, they're not the only, one of the first sort of groups that's doing this, and the barrier to entry is very low, right? So I think what we're going to see is they're going to keep saying Ethereum 2.0 is 2 years out. Like 10 years from now, Ethereum 2.0 is like 2 years out, right? They're still going to be saying that, and it'll be a joke because it won't matter. There's going to be 1,000 different scaling solutions, from Wax to Telos to Polkadot to whatever. Am I right about that, or am I missing something?
Yeah, So I have a bias, and my bias is the fact that I think part of the problem is that they can't do it, but I think the other part of the problem is they're more than happy not to do it. I mean, the miners are killing it with these fees, right? And the community is bigger and stronger, and there is really no reason for it not to be scaled now into Telos and into EOS and into these other things. So yeah, I think you're right. I think probably it'll be way more than 2 years, and when it does release, EOS, probably potentially Cardano, some of these other blockchains are going to be so far ahead of Ethereum 2.0, they're going to have to up it to Ethereum 3.0 or 4.0.
Well, and here's the thing, I don't think by the time they figure it out, it'll be irrelevant, right? Like we talk about IBC, blockchain communication or connectivity, right? And what we're seeing, again, this is my opinion. At the beginning of the internet, there actually were sectioned off nets, right? You had an internet over here and an internet over there, and they were trying to get them connected in a meaningful way. We never think about that now. It's not many things to us. It's just one thing. It does all the stuff we want it to do. Do the whiz bang and leave me the fuck alone, right? That's where all this is going, right? The different blockchains are interesting, and I think there will be there will always be different blockchains, and that's very, very good because we can then iterate, right? Like if you think Bitcoin is the top of the technological food chain and will be forever, you're just go read a book. That's not the way this is, right? Bitcoin is amazing. I love it. I'm building a whole temple to it. It is as a first mover in this space that was successful, it taught us a great deal. But it's not the best, right? That's not the best that we can do as hyper intelligent monkeys working together. It's just not, right? So it's amazing and interesting and awesome to see the dozens of really powerful blockchains that are out there, even kind of focusing on niche market stuff. But eventually, they're all going to be talking together seamlessly, and it won't matter. In my clearly humble opinion.
Yeah, and I think you bring up a really valid point, right? Like, how many people actually go in into their computer and change the network that they're connected to. Right? They don't. Most people just like, no, we can't go to that Starbucks. The internet sucks. Let's go across the street to Tully's. Like, that's how people focus. That's how people think in the real world when it comes to internet, right? So it'll probably be the same as blockchain, right? And like, yeah, I think maximalism might, get relegated to the dark web, maybe. But for the most part, it needs to disappear.
Where? The dark web.
The dark
web. You got to watch more Letterkenny, dude. The dark web. Where is it going to get relegated to, Jimmy?
The dark web.
Thank you for making my morning.
No.
Yeah.
There was I subscribe to their YouTube channel. We don't get paid for this, but it's funny. There was a great, where do you work? TD episode posted up there on the other day. Montreal people working at TD. You can imagine where that went. Let's just leave it at that, though. Love it. So that's about it. Lots happening. With the Uplift, really. The Uplift world. Lots happening with the Uplift art. It was nice to have M Blue on last night. If you didn't catch that, tune into it. You won't regret it. One of the most amazing people that I've ever met, and in my life, and really cool person to have on your radar. I think if you're gonna listen to somebody. So I basically wrapped that up with, I would say the most important thing that happened is the Power Up model. When it goes live, we're not really sure, but it probably won't take 2 years.
Right. Hey, Mustafa, what is your wax count? Because I asked everyone if they could vote for anyone to receive this other than themselves, who would it be? And Mustafa was the first to respond. And so that's who's getting it. And that's just the way it is. Now, randomly, I'm gonna pick another one from inside the comments, and we're gonna give one of the 100 wax ones away because I do like the random aspect of it, but I also like the non-random aspect of it sometimes. So we'll do both. So Mustafa, I need your wax count if you can, please. And you're gonna win. Nailed it. All right, cool. And then I'll pick another one. So yeah, say some more interesting stuff. And seriously, like the whole idea that say things. Now I'm gonna say more things. The fact that there was so many people voting for that, I really like that. So that's fun. Yeah, Mustafa might be a bad guy from The Lion King, but he's a super awesome guy in our community. So that wins.
Badness is all about perspective.
Is it though? Is it though?
Well, yeah, you kind of got me there.
Yeah, nailed it. Mustafa, uplift others and you'll get uplifted automatically. A rising tide does lift all ships. And it comes back. It really does. If you don't feel like it does, it does. The energy that you put out there, it's going to come back and smash you in the face. And if what you're putting out there is the best and most positive that you can, like that stuff's real. Like people will react to you differently. The whole universe will react to you differently. And that's not woo. That's real. That's physics. And sadly, the opposite is also true, right? If you're coming at the world from a really negative perspective, you're always going to find what you're looking for. Always. Your brain is designed to pattern recognize like that. So if you think it's going to be shitty, guess what? It's going to be shitty. So again, that's why the gratitude practice is so good. Even if because you can start it and this was me a year ago for real. Having to especially we were covering the news at the time, everything was terrible. But that practice we just started, and little bit by little bit by little bit, I started breaking myself out of that pattern that I was in all the time, which is probably why I'm such an evangelist for this idea, because it has changed my life personally. And I know it's a little thing, and there's lots of other paths up this mountain, and they're all good to whatever degree. I just know this one works, and so I wanted to make sure that I share this out. And now I got to send NFTs, so stop making me talk all the time.
Yeah, it's all right. I want to go visit my land at some point.
We can do that
after you do the NFTs. Well, not my land, but Jenner EOS's land. I have this idea that I'm going to try to build, but I'm not that Minecrafty, so we'll see how it comes together. But yeah, I just want people to know that, like, even if you're not a like crazy, Minecraft person who knows how to play video games, it's not that difficult to figure out. I mean, and this is coming from a guy who died 3 times on the journey from the cathedral, like, to the other end of the universe, right?
It's actually not that bad. There's a lot of people that died way more.
Yeah, but like, this is also a guy whose like computer overheated because he swam for like an hour straight. And here's the thing, right? Like, if you're new to Minecraft, I'm going to give you the rundown, right? Number 1, if you just hold the mouse button down, it will actually place a block. You don't have to click it every time. It took me about 3/4 of all the blocks I placed to figure that out. When you see the land, you'll understand that, why that's important. Yeah, that's the most important thing, right? The shift key thing that you taught me yesterday was pretty cool. That was good. But yeah, just go in and play around with it. For most of the people who are in there now, I would imagine they kind of either are community leaders who are learning it, or they're people who are Minecraft builders who have been kind of put in there by community leaders to build something awesome. There was something I read today that I kind of want to address about what happens when new people come in. This is Minecraft, in my opinion, and Corey can maybe tell me that I'm wrong. This is Minecraft, in my opinion, but it's not Minecraft. It's something bigger. And this community cluster idea that Corey and you guys had, this is really powerful stuff. And this allows for people to customize their own, area for their community, right? So the fact that like people are in there and they're building stuff out, it's really amazing and really impressive. And when the game goes live, this kind of all goes away, I would assume, right? There might be avenues to be able to get this creative mode or something like this, right? But no matter what side of the fence you're on, just remember that these people are building this for their communities. Whatever is in that community is representative of the people who are going to reside there in the game. There's 55 plots that go around the outside, and the majority of them, I guess they don't have to, but the majority of teams that we've talked to, they're going to give these somehow. They're going to distribute them to their community members. People will put a bed in their plot. These community plots necessarily aren't going on sale, right? These communities, the 55 plots around it, are not, don't really have anything to do with the uplift world anymore. They have to do with this community, right? So these communities are essentially building a center around where their communities can come and their communities can interact. And I just want people to know this, right? Like, there's a lot of gamification that Corey's mentioned and that we've thought about, that will come later once the game goes live. But how many communities do we have now in there?
Man, yeah, there's at least 50 now, and I'm having to do a whole other ring.
So there's 50 projects in there that are all building out their central square. Awesome and amazing. And we've got 12 days till we go live, essentially. So yeah, like creative mode or not, like it's awesome that some people aren't using creative mode, and it's awesome that some people are. And I think from my personal perspective, I'm just gonna say it, both is okay. I mean, if you don't use creative mode and you never fly around the universe, then you have bragging rights to the high heavens. That's very funny because that sounds right.
Well, yeah, and so like the creative mode thing that's such an interesting question, right? Because like how you don't want to constrain people's creativity, especially now, right? Everything's every time we get to take a picture and post all these amazing builds, and you know, that is a value add for the whole world, right? Every time somebody sees what's possible, more people are going to want to come and join us, and that is going to have a direct correlation with the NFT land key prices, right? So we're keeping all that. But when there's 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 people in the game, not everyone is going to even want to be, you know, super creative all the time. Somebody, you know, like our friend Donna Laptrack, really just wanted to come in and mine. That was kind of her, you know, she had never played, you know, a video game like this before ever. And that was kind of her zen. Like she could go and, you know, find diamonds, and it was really fun, and, you know, kind of do stuff like that. And when we turn the economy on, people are going to have shops on their land. They're going to be like that. The resource thing becomes part of the experience that bonds the community together. Is it as fast? No, but it is inherently better, right? Inherently better. It means like the people who are creative, if you need something, you go find it. It might be scarce. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but scarcity, when communities approach it intelligently and interestingly, scarcity does amazing freaking things. We're all in crypto. Hello, right? It's not because they just like airdrop 18 trillion things at a time. Scarcity is part of that, right? And so on the crypto side, we've learned that. On the game side, it's a little bit, you know, harder to grok that sometimes, because you sort of experiencing that as a loss, right? Like you have superpowers, and now you just are like a normal person building in the world or whatever, right? But I think it's I'm looking forward to that. I think the just because it's this layer, the Minecraft layer, that, to your point, Jimmy, it's not really important that it's Minecraft. It's a metaverse. Like this is our world that we're creating. The tools that we're doing it, and sort of the matrix that we chose to give it life, just happens to be Minecraft. And that it just happens to be Minecraft now, because these are all NFTs. There's nothing saying that we couldn't port this, we couldn't fork this into VR down the road. And it's something that, quite frankly, I think about all the time. So it starts in Minecraft, but it definitely won't end there.
Yeah, and I'm just responding to some of the comments I saw today, and I don't think that anyone's really upset. It's kind of more of like a what do you call it? Like a fun little debate, like and just kind of poked fun at one of the guys. He's like, "Oh, the guy who was helping me, he gave up and he went for a fly today," and I thought that was really fun. and somebody. Like, I think Lisa Chandler said, "Oh, Anders, it's okay to go for a fly once in a while," and Anders is just like, "Never." Like, you can tell you can tell he really wants to go for a fly, but he's so entrenched that he can never go for a fly.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I love that guy. Well, that same guy magicked himself a bunch of glass yesterday. So, oops. I totally got the like he's the priest who got caught in the strip club. So sorry, buddy. What's up?
Nah, I think it's okay, right? Like different people have different standards, right? Like different. I mean, it's always like that, right? Like different people have different standards when it comes to crypto, when they're trading, when they're, living life, when they're voting, right? Like, I mean, some people vote for education. Some people vote for, health and safety. Some people vote for money, right? This is the way that things go. I don't want to ignore this, even though it's not necessarily on our normal agenda. But Dr. Sound Dr. Jimmy.
Yeah, I was gonna bring this up too. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to touch base. So it was a question for you. I have my own opinions, but it was more a question for you. So.
Yeah, so I was talking about the tuning thing and the gratitude practice sort of being a way to brute force teaching your brain to see more positive things, right? And if you have a negative outlook, that will teach your brain to see more negative things. Those things are just true. Now, depression is a whole other thing. And it was a thing that I will admit, and Greg will probably chime in, like I didn't understand it until I experienced it. And it's the difference of like we can sort of see the gratitude practice, and again there are many others. Think of it in terms of like, okay, you can learn how to run faster or even walk faster, right? You can learn how to use that tool to build that practice up, and so you can improve that. If you got a broken leg, doesn't fucking matter how much running you practice, you can't do it, right? So so depression is a totally different thing. and there are, you know, cognitive behavioral therapy, again, which I did, you know, I had to go through. I didn't, you know, I got that experience was really good. It is kind of this kind of thing on you know, at a very high level, right? So you use those tools to help you improve, because it is not a foregone conclusion forever, for, you know, for everyone, right? So you want to use all the tools that you possibly can, but it's not to say that it isn't, you know, something that is a totally different challenge, right? You can you know, use those these kinds of tools to try and, you know, pull out of the dive and out of that space, but it's not going to happen overnight, and it might not work, right? Like it's a different thing. Like when it becomes a chemical physiological thing in your brain, you know, it again, I still offer it up fervently as a tool, but it's not like, you know, it's a predestined thing, you know, like I hope not anyway, like because it's a tough thing, but so that's the thing, like it's on a spectrum. By the time you're in like an actual physiological depression, I mean, it might help. I mean, I think it would almost certainly help, but it's not going to be the be all end all. And, you know, you might need a whole lot of other tools, and it's a big problem. It's not, you know, it's a broken leg, not a, you know, not a stumble. So.
Yeah. And so I think there's a differentiation there between, you know, what we were talking about and, you know, what you just mentioned in depression. And for me, like, it's about choice. And I think people with depression, they don't have the choice. They don't have the ability to be able to say, today is going to be a good day.
And it's not even just like the mental ability or like the will or whatever. You know, you're freaking on the floor in a bathroom staring at the toilet for a half an hour. That was me, right? Like just the idea that you would just like sort of brute force your brain into a different state. Like it'd be easier to lift a car and throw it over a mountain. Like that, it just that pattern is that at that time unavailable, right? And you have to do the hard work to pull out of that. And for me, that was getting help. And for a lot of other people, you know, that you know is medication sometimes. Like it's fucking hard, man. So like when it's at that point, again, these tools are good to like kind of go from zero and improve, and even like go from like, hey, I'm having a little bit of an off day and improving, and they are cumulative over time. I don't care where, like at what point you're at. If you do this practice, it will have an effect. I don't know how much, but I know it will have an effect. But yeah, it's a you know, it can be like a really, really challenging thing, and I never want to I don't want to belittle that for anyone, because like I don't even think I experienced it, you know, a really, you know, kind of huge case of it, right? Because like I, you know, was in that space for maybe a couple months, you know, or you know, even a year, kind of getting all the way to the other side of it. But it was rough. It was rough. So, you know, please, anyone, don't ever feel like I'm trying to belittle that or saying you're not doing enough, because I know sometimes how hard it is to do anything at all.
Yeah, and I think this is a very different aspect than waking up in the morning, you know, stopping for gas or going into a convenience store and treating the clerk like shit because you don't feel like being up that early because you don't really like your job. These are two different kind of scenarios, right? Just to point that out. So just to point out what Greg said, in the therapeutic world, what we know is clinical depression requires both medication and talk therapy and the other tools you are discussing: meditation, gratitude, and practice.
I'll tell you that the cognitive behavioral therapy, like the talk therapy kind of stuff, and again, you know, with severity, you know, to Greg's point, as far as, you know, requiring medication and talk therapy or whatever, like I can, you know, if it had lasted any longer for me, that was something that we were seriously looking at. And again, like, just if you need to do it, fucking go do it, right? Like, it's just the way it is. But other than like the gratitude stuff, obviously something that I still do. But the sunrise thing, and this is why, and this maybe, you know, kind of explaining a little bit how this sort of ended up being part of our culture in the uplift. When we first moved to Miami, like I was just coming out of this sort of depressing kind of episode situation, and new place, don't know anyone, but we live 7 blocks away from a beach, so like I'm gonna get up in the morning every morning and walk out there and just air the sunrise live on Facebook. So I did, and I did that every day, for a while, and again, like that simple practice of do that one thing significantly. I mean, I felt it day by day by day by day, and it was weeks. It wasn't like a couple days. Like, oh, cool, I'm really good now. Like it was like months until I was sort of felt like I was like, oh, I feel like myself again, right? But now experiencing sunrise on Sunday mornings, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can join us here on YouTube if you want to, or in game soon when that's available for everybody who isn't connected to the community cluster. Doing it with my sort of extended family, with you guys, it's profound. Like it's just like I was like, it's a silly game, but it's not. It's just not. It's that moment where we are tuning ourselves and tuning the world and tuning each other. And it's a much bigger deal than some metaverse where you can buy and sell key NFTs. Although you're going to be able to do that too. Anyway, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the show?
Nah, it was good. I think sometimes we rant away on EOS or EOSIO, but some of these things are really important, right? We've got a lot of people in the community who are here for different reasons. A lot of projects who are here for different reasons, and it's nice to hear you at your most, what's the word I'm looking for? Your most not your most professional self, your most vulnerable in a way, right? Like
as if I have a professional self.
Well, how many takes did that NFT at the beginning of the show take you? Because that was pretty good.
The takes, that 0.
Yeah, we all have our issues, and we should. Yeah, I need to actually find something like that. I think in this day and age and world that we live in, most people, especially, are really attached to their mobile phone devices and things like that, right? Mm-hmm. And so for me, actually, I understand why the sunset is important, right? But I also understand my limits. I understand that like I'm able to like close myself off into a world. Like I actually I'm a person who goes outside and like designs ecosystems part of the time when I have the chance, and I can like lock myself into my house and get busy on the computer or get busy even on the balcony doing gardening, for a week at a time, and I never go outside my front door. And this is where I'm at my almost depressed. And I don't call what I have depression. I just call it not being normal. Like I'm not depressed, I'm not sad, I'm not, anywhere close to what like clinical depression would be. But I don't even realize that, like, I guess, the terminology would be like, I don't even realize I'm in a funk until I go outside and I realize, Jesus, I haven't been outside in a week and I feel great. I really need to be outside more, right? Like, that's kind of like my I nowhere close to what like you stated, right? That's not me. I'm a philosopher. I'm a deep thinker. I enjoy being angry, at the world in a joking manner, right? Like, I mean, I yell at my daughter and my wife in fun. If I'm angry and I'm not yelling, that's when it's not good. like that, if that makes sense, right? Like I'm a loud, I'm a vocal, like I'm not really angry, but like, this is the way that I think, right? Like I've had good friends who have, committed suicide, who were depressed, family members as well. I never really understood it. I never really got it, but like, I'm kind of on the opposite spectrum. Like I can cue the trumpets, because I can be a real jerk, sometimes to people I really care about. it's probably the people that I care about the most that I'm a jerk to. Because that's where I release my rage. So like you said, I do need to find something. Everyone needs to find something that they can release that tension, that they can release that, funk that they're in, that they can get back to like ground zero and level one. And it's really cool as what's on the screen. Let's incorporate as many good practices into the new world so people can be as happy as possible, even if predisposed against it. 100%. This is a community of, in a way, like-minded individuals, or individuals that will come in here and will learn from one another, will participate with one another, and hopefully, the community being based on gratitude, as it was designed by you guys, essentially should enable people to be happy. If people aren't happy, then yeah, burn it to the ground, I guess.
So we're at 450,000 wax. And again, like the reason why we're doing that, like we're not selling these collectible NFTs to just make money. Although honestly, we could, and I think artists from within the world are going to do that, and they're going to make money, and we're going to make money too. It's going to be real good. There's a lot of demand for that, which is fun. So we're not doing that though for this one. This is specifically so that we can fill the rewards pool. And now, every action in game, starting with wandering around, is going to kick out rewards to the player. It's sort of like proof of fun or something, right? Is going to be sending actual wax to your actual freaking wax count. And the way we get that in initially is, by doing this, doing this Genesis NFT sale. Some feedback going on there, Jimmy. I think it'll be fine.
Sorry.
No, it's gone now. We're good.
I was on the move. That's why.
So the cool thing is we're going to hold an event pretty soon. I should probably book that today. For when we're doing this mint number 1 auction. There's already 100,000 wax bid on it. Hopefully we get a bigger one. See what happens towards the end of that thing. And we're going to get doubled up to 1 million. We have a mysterious benefactor who's going to come in and double what we raise with this, up to 1 million wax, which is check notes, a big fucking deal. Because starting with that, means we have a really, really awesome runway where we're just being able to send out wax to all the players, all the builders, all the NFT land key owners. Like it's gonna be quite good. And like we have at least a dozen ideas about how there's going to be in-game things that we can do and charge for. And when we do those things, for example, putting up a picture of an NFT in your NFT gallery, that's going to require server mods to do that. And so we'll charge a little bit because we want to make sure that their time is respected. And I think 50% of it is going to go to the rewards pool. So rewards pools is growing in that interaction. And the secondary market sales, which I think we set at 9%. I wanted them to go way higher, and they went 9% anyway, which is fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. The reason why I wanted it to be higher is not so that we could make a ton of money, but because 50% of that is going to go into the rewards pool. And, we're going to use it for ongoing expenses so that we could keep the lights on no matter what happens, right? Which is important. Anyway, so things are happening. You're muted now there, Homeslice.
Can you imagine if I would have been making wax just walking around like that?
Yeah, I can. I imagine it all the time.
It's gonna happen, right?
Well, then if you're on the rail, you're making 2 to 3x. That's my game plan for it right now, right? Like you'll we want people
Satoshi a day.
What's that?
And 1 Satoshi a day if you go.
If you know where to go, you can get 1 Satoshi a day. It's true. That's not built yet, but I can't wait for that to be done. That's gonna be really good. Anyway, guys, I got another meeting here in a few minutes. Dr. Genie, thank you for your question, and I'm glad that we got to chat about that a little bit, because I want to make sure that I'm as clear about that as possible. And again, I'm not perfect about it. I'm still learning about it. It's something that I experienced, not even an intense case of, and I have a deep respect for what people, are going through. Right. I just know that having this gratitude practice will have a positive effect for everyone. Now, is it going to dig you out of a hole a mile deep? Probably not. Not in a day, right? And maybe not, without the help of a lot of other stuff. But even if it just brightens it a little tiny bit, that's great. And I'm telling you, it has an effect on other people, like a big one. And that actually has an interesting recursive effect back on yourself, right? Like throwing that energy out there, it'll increase the possible number of positive interactions that an individual has in a day. And that there's a real power in that, right? Is it like going to cure everything? No, of course not. But it's going to make the world a better place, little bit by little bit. I'm super stoked about it.
And you guys make my world a better place. Like, I'm pretty ecstatic that people tune in, and Corey's maybe used to it, but for me, this is all new. I'm ecstatic that people tune in and care about what I have to say, because like a lot of people don't care about what a lot of other people in the world have to say, right? And I don't think that I'm necessarily that special, but I like talking, and I like hearing what you guys say in the comments. So I think that's really important for me. That's maybe this is my ritual that has come out of all of this, right?
Yeah. To Greg's point, and then I got to roll. To Lisa's comment, I think we should be having this conversation on as many of our posts and live feeds as we can. The community aspect of the uplift is what makes it special. Gratitude is a pillar. Yeah, one hundo. So there you go. So Jimmy. Oh, hey, you know what? Hold the farm. Yeah, voice and sound, the uplift. We're gonna have records. I'm pretty sure about that, but can only be 10 records at a time. So chances are that's just going to be soundtrack type stuff. If there's other ways to add audio, please let me know and we'll figure it out. You know what? I just randomly scrolled through this thing. The first comment that I saw that had a wax account attached to it is Hypa. So Hypa, I'm gonna give you the other one. I wanted to give somebody one of the things. And actually, what I'm gonna do, these things are 100 wax each. I'm gonna give you 2, and I hope that you give one away. I can't tell you. Yeah, can't tell you to. You do whatever you want, but I'm giving you 2 so you can give one away. And your wax count is 2. Cool beans. Bam.
So I guess on Friday we're gonna have Bonds Manifest on to talk about our planet.
Yes. Is that Friday, Saturday?
On Saturday.
We do need. Maybe we should have Ken on Friday, or because I need to message the token head people too, because I was gonna try and get them on, but we didn't finalize it. So yeah, Friday is sort of gone. I don't know what are we doing tomorrow.
I mean, we can push Friday to Saturday. It's fine, I think.
Yeah, unless I mean, we could always just hop in and do another fun show and just like chill.
Yeah,
I really don't hate doing that. Maybe we could have G Money in to talk about Crownlandia, because they got a game coming up before too long, built inside the uplift. What? Yeah. So again, like the only people, Jeannie, the only people that have land right now are communities with over 1,000 people in them. Right? It's not, people don't just get them. There was a process behind that.
But if I'm going to put this out there, and I have zero authority over this, so if it doesn't
go on,
blame that guy. That worked. Blame this guy. Yeah, like I'm new to Minecraft, and I worked my ass off today to build something really cool, which we didn't look at, but maybe we'll look at it with some of the stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's do that tomorrow.
Yeah, and there's 2 or 3 communities that I'm kind of trying to, jumpstart and head up. So, as Corey said, you needed to be 1,000 community members in order to get a plot. But if you are a Minecraft builder, and maybe we can go further than that. But if you're a Minecraft builder and you want to help out on some plots, I think we could let you come in and help people who are already building, as long as you don't break shit. You like do shit that, do stuff that like those people want help with. Because we're 12 days from launch, and I know like I'm not going to be able to finish this, awesome Gener EOS thing that I'm working on in 12 days. Never mind if other communities might have issues as well. Corey, what's your take on that? What do you think?
I'm sorry, I was multitasking. What was the question?
Some of the community members that might not, that might be Minecraft builders or want to assist some of the communities that are already out there. I think it's okay if they come in and help some of the projects that they're affiliated.
Yeah, if you get drafted, you get drafted. Like the communities are allowed to bring in up to 2 people each. Some of them have pushed it to 3. Really trying to avoid that because I think it's gonna. We want to be a little judicious about it. But yeah, if you can get drafted by one of the projects that are on there that aren't building yet or that, need some help, do it.
Yeah. And so like Dr. Sanjini said something, I think, or maybe it was somebody else. Anyway, I read something in the comments. So if anyone wants to give me a hand doing the couple plots that I'm working on. And plus, Corey, we also have this show's plot as well that nobody's
It's true. I'll tell you this though, people will absolutely categorically not get on a build team of mine by complaining. Like just a personal life hack of mine, I don't work with people who complain.
Was there someone who complained? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. All right.
Just a little notey note, Jimmy.
Fair enough. That was really weird. But anyway, there was a really high voice. Usually you're the low guy.
Is that what? Is that a little? It's up here.
Okay. We're gonna see you guys all tomorrow. Let's wrap it up. Greg, you're on the line. If your meeting isn't with Corey telling me, I have a question for you. And Bonds on
Saturday. Yeah, about the Our Planet thing. And there's actually
a
pack. If you
Gen session, that's going to be what we're going to call it, the Our Planet NFT Game Day Gen session.
Yeah, I'm in. It's long, and I like long names. Tech Talk on a Tuesday. What? Anyway, I literally have a meeting I have to get to in 5 minutes. So